Hi, my name is Arkma, and welcome to the CoN FE MBTL Q&A. I gave our invitees 11 questions varying in topics whose answers we will receive today. We are going to start off with our introductory questions, and for every question, we're going to receive everyone's answers, and then move on to the next question. So let's get started. Question 1 is who are you and who do you play, with question 2 following up with how long have you been playing them. Our first respondent is Moai, who said, I am Moai and I play Roa, with Roa being played from the beginning of the game. Next we have Shijo answering, I am Shijo and I play Akiha, with Akiha being played for 4 years. Our final respondent is TaoTao, who answered, TaoTao, I am an Arcwood player, with Arcwood being played at launch. So from the Japanese side, we have longtime character loyalists. We now move across the Pacific for our next respondent, Jorjao.
My name is George, sometimes called Jorjao. I play part CL, and I first started with Shiki and Roa. But I love CL, so here we are. I think I've been playing part CL since she came out, I think. She was very clunky at first. I remember her confirms being the most cursed thing ever. I still kept her in my roster until I really got good at playing her. I love the changes that she got over the years, and I'm really happy how she's looking right now.
We continue with our second Latin American rep with Dertako, who answered, I'm Dertako, kind of a new player in general, and I play Saber, one of the two in my region. For how long, Dertako said Saber was the first pick, but opted to give all the other characters a try. Quote, Saber was my first pick overall, but I didn't know much about the rest of the cast. The only thing that I knew it was the fact that this game is based on the Tsukihime visual novel, and I feel bad playing a game like this without knowing anything about the VN. So I played Tsukihime, Kagetsu Toya, the fan disc, and the remake in a span of a month or so. After all that, I tried more characters like Shiki or Arc, but I stayed on Saber because I have a thing with girls and swords. Characters with big swords is looking to be a theme as we move to Omnisscythe, who responded, Howdy, I'm Omnisscythe, and I'm known for playing powered CL. For how long, Omnisscythe responds since her release, and for his Akiha, who he has been playing lately, 3 months. I do remember watching the day 1 tournament VODs for PCL combos when I decided to pick her up. Lastly, we have Shinoa, who opened up with, I am Shinoa, aka Psychiatric Lab, I play Aoko Aozaki and Red Arcwood at times. For the duration, Shinoa says he's been on Aoko for 2 years and gives a special shout out to fellow Aoko player Gozen. For our next question, players were asked if they had a preferred opponent or rival in their local scene. For Moai, it is Ridori, his best friend. For Shijo, it's Noppo. Quote, he plays Koma very well. For TaoTao, the answer is Nami, with the two playing since the Shite High tournament, which to my understanding includes Kansai gaming party events. For Jorjao, the answer is Nice.
I think a player that I like the rivalry the most would be Nice. I love that little Akiha player like you wouldn't believe. He whines a lot, but he also plays a lot. Just don't get on his bad side.
Dertako has a few players, Danny SSB, Hayasaka, and Donnie. I've played them since the beginning, and I still keep playing against them. For Omnisscythe, it was safe. Their sets, quote, always felt like a battle of bronze versus brains. For Shinoa, he doesn't have locals nearby, but in North America, he said Raiden, Gozen, Phantom, Real, and JCOM were his favorite opponents. For question 4, players were asked if they were looking forward to any food while visiting Atlanta. For Moai, TaoTao, and Omnisscythe, all were unsure what food were popular in the area and asking for recommendations, so feel free to use the comment section below if you know of any restaurants in the area that they should try. For Shijo, they say that they try to avoid food orders while at events, so he brings instant food with him instead. I've never thought to do that myself, but that definitely seems like a cost-effective way to move around. For Jorjao, the goal is the unknown.
Is everything an answer? Because I've been planning to eat whatever people send me. If it's something I know, I'm tasting it.
Dertako is seeking spicy food. Anything spicy is something they want more of, and I can relate to that. Shinoa, meanwhile, is looking for Asian cuisine, so if you know of any places, write those down below as well. Question 5 looks at our players' history, asking if they have a personal favorite tournament they've attended. Moai answered EVO 2023, as, quote, I became a champion on the stage I had always dreamed of. For Shijo, it was a no-brainer, Climax of Night 6. TaoTao responded with a Japanese tournament, Nekomiko Cup. Jorjao didn't have a particular favorite, as all the Brazilian events are plenty fun, but he did want to do a shout-out.
Honestly, I think every Brazil tournament was fun to me. But shoutouts to Battle Coliseum Tournament! Or as I like to call, BCT. It's pretty important to say the BCT part, by the way. Trust me.
Dertako doesn't have too much offline experience, but tries to attend locals when possible. A favorite event was Open the Gates, saying, "It was a new major tournament with a lot of games, and Melty was on the main lineup, so it was great." Omnisscythe's answer was Combo Breaker, which wasn't much of a success competition-wise, but for the experiences there. Quote, "One of the few brackets where my results were awful, but I had a blast all the same." Also, Toshimichi Mori, the creator of BlazBlue, laughed at me while I was getting black hole looped, so there's that for a memory. Shinoa keeps us in Illinois, with Frosty Fausting's 2025 being his favorite, as well as his first major offline appearance. Quote, "That was my moment to show what I was truly capable of, and just meeting my online friends for the first time was such an experience." Question 6 asks if our opponents have any preparations for events, such as rituals or habits, to get into that fighting game mindset. Moai tries to look at his opponents ahead of time, researching the recent results, and to watch them play when possible. Shijo specifically does nothing. TaoTao has 3 prep items: caffeine, nicotine, and eye drops. For Jorjao, it's an action.
Punch the air and pose dramatically. No, really, that's what I do. I try to hold that back in offlines, so I don't look weird.
Dertako doesn't have anything in particular, but has adopted the FGC nod for all occasions. Omnisscythe takes from his time taking tests, which was to munch on walnuts beforehand. And Shinoa? Quote, "I mental doom, then I ego up." Question 7 takes us away from the game and asks what our opponents choose to do when not in battle. For Moai, they play Mahjong. Shijo spends time watching anime and building Gundam kits. TaoTao plays the guitar, sings, and makes compositions. For Jorjao,
Read visual novels, used to do jujitsu. Is shitposting a hobby? If so, yeah, that too.
Dertako stays with the computer, either reading visual novels or playing Counter-Strike. Omnisscythe is a certified foodie, either making dishes he sees on the net at home or traveling to a place where food he's seen. Shinoa also enjoys cooking and enjoys horror games like Silent Hill and Fatal Frame, as well as reading Gothic literature. This 8th one is where things get a little spicy. Every region's metagame is a little different, with characters seeing top-tier status in one region not sharing the same spot in other regions. So, to every player, what character do you think is overvalued or undervalued in other regions? For Moai, Akiha is undervalued in other regions, saying, quote, "She is the strongest in the world. No one other than Japanese people notices this." Shijo agrees with Moai on Akiha being undervalued, and says the same thing about Dan overseas. PCL and Vlov seem overvalued by the same region, but Shijo says that these may more be impacted by the network environment played outside Japan, but says, quote, "I don't believe any single opinion is the correct one." For TaoTao, there is an agreement with Moai. Akiha is the strongest character. This is the truth of the world. For Jorjao, there is an agreement with Shijo about the strengths of PCL.
I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know that there are some regions that think that Xiao is top tier. In my opinion, she isn't top tier, which might seem like I'm downplaying her because I play her, but the others in my region agree that her not having mix-ups and being overall a bit slower can make stalling her out and making her risk herself more for better pressure a lot more adorable to deal with. That's not to say that she isn't good. She definitely is on the door to top tier status. But in my opinion, not there yet, and I'm sure I'm not alone on this.
Dertako joins Shijo's take on Dead Apostle Noel, stating, quote, "Insane neutral, mobility, buttons, specials, Oki, etc. I don't know why this character is not played that much. Is so dumb?" Omnisscythe shares his thoughts on a character not as present in North America, but a feeling he still shares. I'm kind of dated on this topic, so I'll just say Vlov is a very solid character, which I feel lack weaknesses which are normal for his archetype. Shinoa closes this question with 2 characters unmentioned, saying, quote, "I see that Japan underrates Red Arcuid, which I find insane. Same with CL as well, because I think those characters are easily top 2. From strengths in the metagame to strengths as a competitor, each invitee was asked about what it takes to be strong in Melty Blood or fighting games in general. Moai keeps it simple. You just gotta, quote, believe in your heart. For Shijo, it's, quote, the ability to do ordinary things ordinarily. For TaoTao, it's accuracy and quick decision making. Jorjao believes in both adaptation and consistency.
I would say that in top level play, adaptation and consistency are important skills. It's hard to be consistent when you're adapting, but a player who can remain consistent despite adapting is for sure a powerhouse, in my opinion.
For Dertako, it's fundamentals, as playing someone with strong fundamentals is, quote, a real pain. They are really good. For Omnisscythe, it's applying knowledge to practice and to not be reliant on just your basic skill set. Shinoa takes it inward, stressing the importance of the mental part of fighting games. Quote, mental. You're battling yourself at the end of the day, and people like Real and JCOM showed me that. At $5,000 raised, we plan to have Kikoho pied in the face at the event. So this next question asks if our invitees would like to throw a pie at him, stressing that he is a Red Arc player. Moai is ready, saying, let's go! While Shijo was indecisive, but stated that he hopes to talk with Kikoho more this year and become friends. TaoTao was more decisive, declaring no, as, quote, players who use the characters voiced by Ikumi Hasegawa are my best friends. Jorjao was open to it, with some hesitation.
Yeah. A shame throwing goodbyes at someone, but you only live once. This isn't going to be used against me, right?
Dertako also said yes, but worried about Kikoho doing warp eject button in real life to evade it. I've seen him do that. Omnisscythe said he'd like to do it, but was conflicted since, quote, that's Kikoko. And Shinoa? No. For our final question, I wanted to give our players a chance to say something to the wider Melty Blood scene. From Moai, he reached out to both French Bread and anyone who may have the capability. Quote, add Satsuki quickly. Real! From Shijo, Akiha is very kawaii, in parentheses, very cute, cool, beautiful. From TaoTao, I love the Melty Blood community, so let's liven up this scene around the world. From Jorjao,
well, the message that I have is, the America Latina is a strong region, full of strong players. Well, I don't know if I'm the strongest player in there, but for sure, there are multiple other players in my region that are just as strong as me, but in different ways. Maybe even stronger, actually. My pride is keeping me from saying more. But watch out for us!
From Dertako, quote, this is a game about our community. Let's keep playing it forever. From Omnisscythe, NA is a nation of down players. Please continue to show character variety so we can defeat the narratives. And in parentheses, he says, this is a joke. And Shinoa says, Aoko is ass, and she takes too much skill for this game when people like Wark, CL, and Koma just get to run their game plan for free. And that is it for our Q&A. Thank you all for watching and donating. Thank you to our invitees who provided their answers to my questions. And please be sure to share your recommendations for food or other thoughts on this Q&A below. I would appreciate it. And for everyone going to Climax, I will see you there. And for people tuning from home, I hope you enjoy watching all the festivities.